What's up? It's your boy Super Mario 1990 coming at you with a Him spoiler-free review. Movie is dropping actually today. I just saw it today. I just came from the theater actually. It's supposed to come out tomorrow. Now, it's produced by Jordan Peele. It's not directed, but it's produced. It's a football horror. Never heard of that before. I remember seeing trailers a couple months back, and I was like, "Yo, Marlon Wayans as a football player, as a quarterback." I grew up off of Marlon Wayans, so feel like the Wayans brothers, White Chick, Scary Movie, of course, a bunch of other movies. Very funny. He's doing a stand-up thing now too. So huge fan of Marlon Wayans since I was a kid. So I'm like, interesting. Marlon Wayans, Jordan Peele produced football horror. It's like a concoction of just interesting stuff you wouldn't think would run together. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. And from what it looked like, and it's called Him, so it's kind of like, go, I'm him, it's that top tier, top dog status, right? That top notch status. So to me, what I saw, it looked like mentor, young rookie, and there's like a lot of Illuminati kind of cultish stuff. Now, if you're familiar with like Illuminati theories, like to me, it's nothing I actually like fully believe in or anything, but I've always seen like videos or like I like know people who they're like, I know about the government and this and that, and they're like conspiracy theorists, and they're big on Illuminati and who is Illuminati and what the Illuminati do and like all the little ritual cults. I'd be listening just to like kind of like laugh, like how like you listen to like somebody talk and you laughing, but you like trying to hold it in because you don't want them to know. You just be like, yeah, you like fake listen, like yeah, hey, I can see that, yeah, yeah, for real. How you feel about Ye? And I just like just hear them just kind of just go off. So it's like if you entertain that kind of stuff, like Illuminati, cultism, elitism, Freemason, secret society kind of stuff, there's like pretty much themes alluding to that here. So basically what you see is this kid who comes up in this town, his football team, they've won championships by this quarterback who's professional. He's the GOAT. His name's Isaiah White. This is who Marlon Wayans plays. And so there's just like, he's been a kid, this guy that you focused the movie on, Cade Cunningham, I think was his name. So basically his father kind of pushed him into football. They watched the team. The team is called the Saviors too. Now that's like another kind of little theme. But basically they grew up off watching the Saviors win championships with Isaiah White as their quarterback, the GOAT. He's great. And this kid's father, Cade Cunningham's father, basically groomed him into being a football player, the next Isaiah White. So now he's old, he's of age. He had a great collegiate career. It's time for him to go to the pros, the big leagues. And he's back home, and basically the draft combine, the team, the Saviors, they're looking to have him be the next quarterback. Since Isaiah White, he's old now. He's like, I think they say he's like 44, 45. Writing's kind of on the wall that this could be his last season, but he still got it. He's still him. He's still the GOAT. He's still the man. They still love him up there. So the Cade Cunningham guy, the young guy that we focused the movie on, he gets attacked before the draft combine. So he suffers an injury kind of like around his brain. Now it's not enough to say that he can't play football, but it's a thing of if he does go back on the football field, he does run the risk if he experiences any more trauma to his head. So it's the draft day, and he's just kind of like, does he run the risk or not? He ends up not performing for the scout combine. Now, of course, if you're a highly touted prospect and you skip out on the combine, with people who are trying to recruit you professionally, they kind of look at that as sus, or is he hiding, or is like what's going on? It's kind of like, I don't know, like we have to spend money and make this kid the face of our franchise. Do we want to run that risk with a person who can't show up to showcase his talent for us? So basically, Isaiah White's like, this is the perfect opportunity for me to invite him out to my practice facility. So that's what happens. He invites him out to the practice facility. He's like, you're the guy that I want to run this franchise. Between me and you, I'm gonna retire. This is gonna be my last season, but I need someone to pass the torch down to. So I'm gonna test you for a whole week to see if you got what it takes. It's a simple setup. It's interesting, and it's like, and this guy is his hero. It's like he grew up watching him in the house. His dad was like, I want you to be the next him. So it's kind of like the whole Meet Your Heroes thing. And what you see play out is greatness demands sacrifice. This is when you get into like the whole kind of like Illuminati kind of cultism, because everything is like, to enter this league, it's not just what you see. You don't just see a quarterback on the field play every Sunday and try to win games. It's like, it's a lot more to that goes on than that behind the scenes, that what people don't see, that what you probably didn't know. You think it's all practice and playing hard on this and that. It's like, no, it's a lot of other stuff that goes into being the GOAT. You don't just get that off of sheer will. You don't just get that off of talent. You don't just even get that off of hard work and effort. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes on to that. Like whatever makes you human and your morality, some of that stuff you got to lose in order to get to this status. And so you see a lot of that play out. Like, what am I willing to do to be on top? And is it even really worth it at the end of the day? And you see it play out in realistic into disturbing ways. That's where like the horror elements come in. There's a lot of imagery in here, and you're kind of just like, it's a little like, ooh, man, that's a little weird. And you try to like make sense of what you're seeing. The movie doesn't really explain it to you, so it's more abstract, and it's just kind of weird, and it's just like, and then you try to put things together. Like, is that real, or is that just in his head? Like, is this how he like sees this weird world that he's in? Like, is like what's going on? Like, is he hallucinating? Did they give him some drugs? Like what's going on? You can't really explain it. You have like a lot of speculations, and it was really interesting. And when you see the training go down, and you see how he's like, Marlon's like cool at first, this like, you know, goofy mentor like trying to show you the ropes. Then he gets serious. He kind of flips the switch, and you're like, dang, this dude is a little unhinged. The way he runs drills, the way he runs practices, how he demands you to, you know, be the best. At first, it's like a drill sergeant. Then it's kind of like, yo, things is getting a little too dark. Things is a little too much. And, you know, the kid kind of feels it, but he still wants to be in that spot. So it's kind of like he still pushes himself under his guidance. And it's kind of like, when is enough is enough? When do you fight back? When do you be like, nah, man, this ain't it for me. This is a little too crazy. I didn't know it was like this. And so, I mean, that's how like you would watch it as a person, because it's kind of funny, because I would see that, like, I've tried to play sports, I've tried to try out for sports, and I'm like, a lot of stuff, I'm like, well, it wasn't just me not being talented enough, but it's like the way people be talking to you crazy, like, oh, hold up. Now, I ain't gonna be too many of those, and I like, chill out. Or we're gonna play another type of sport, me and you gonna be fighting, like, chill out. So like, you see that play out in this movie, but it's like, it's more than that. It gets a little too restrained to the point where it's like, dang, like, hold up. I don't think like real life it's like that. Like what you see, the gruesome things that you see behind the scenes in here in this movie, I don't think like real NFL practices run like that. You know, there's of course, you know, smack talking, all this and that, but they do some other stuff in here where it's like, yo, hold up. And these people really down for that? They really subjected themselves to this kind of like torture, kind of punishment. I ain't gonna get into the details of it, but if you're interested in seeing the movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a little disturbing. It's like, oh, dang, is this how we get into the league? So it was really interesting. And it was kind of like, as weird as the movie is, it was kind of normal. Like it told kind of a normal story. It's basically, like you said, greatness demands sacrifice. And it's like, what are you willing to go through to get these accolades, to get these perks, the lifestyle, the money, the respect, the fame, you know, all of that stuff. Like, what are you willing to sacrifice? And it's like, this is a dark world that you're entering, because there's a lot of stuff that you got to do in order to get these. Like, you got to pretty much sell your soul, basically, you know. And that's kind of like the theme of the movie. So it was pretty good the way it played out. What I didn't like, though, I ain't like the last 10 or 15 so minutes. That's when it just got way too out of control. It got a little too crazy. It's like I was rocking with y'all. Like, it was, you know, it was like some acceptable amount of weirdness to the movie. But then you get to the last 10, 15 minutes, it was like, yo, this is a little too much. And so the point where I'm like, things are getting a little disjointed. Y'all lost me. Because from what the theme of the movie was and following along with it, I was like, okay, it's not that hard to understand. Actually pretty good, you know? But then you get to the last 10 minutes and it's like, yo, things is getting a little too wild. It literally felt like they hired a different writer who was doing another project and just came in and finished off the last 10-15 minutes. It's like, what does this have to do with anything that I just saw beforehand? I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it just got wild. I'm just like, okay, what am I watching? And then the credits just roll. I'm like, oh, hold up. We not gonna like go back and explain what we just saw the last 10 minutes. The credits are just gonna roll and the movie is over. I was vibing with the movie up until about 10-15 minutes. I'm just like, and they try to make some callbacks from before and they try to put things together. And the way they did it, it was just kind of like, I'm not really feeling that. It just, now it just makes what I seen a little more weirder than what it was. So I'm like, I'm a little conflicted. Like the last 10 minutes kind of messed up what was, I thought, otherwise a solid movie, given what it was. Like it is very niche. It is very kind of like cultish. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a mainstream movie by any standards. It's a little too weird for that. It's a little too off kilter. But the last 10-15 minutes, I was like, yo, this is way too wild, way too extreme. Now I'm like, I don't even know what y'all were trying to accomplish. Because beforehand, like I said, if you go in with a theme of greatness demands sacrifice, and is it really worth it at the end of the day to be the GOAT, to be him? Is it really worth it to have all these accolades and the fame if this is what you got to do to get it? That's what you saw kind of like the whole movie. You did see it kind of play out with like weird imagery and like disturbing kind of scenes. But the last 10 minutes was like of the utmost disturbing. Like, what the heck is we even doing? What direction are we going in now? And like I said, at the very end, the credits just roll, and that's it. They don't even try to explain what that last 10. I was hoping the last 10 minutes was like an illusion, like it didn't really happen. But no, the movie just ends, and I'm just like, okay. I don't know why it ended like that. That's my biggest problem with the movie. It's hard for me to grade the movie now. Like, I'd say 7 out of 10, just to pick a number. Like, because it was good. It was good up until that point. But that point just, I don't know, man. It kind of messed up a lot of things. I'm just kind of like, oh, that's how we end things with this one? Okay. I mean, I can't say that I seen a particular ending come. I can't say, like, if I was doing it, how I would end it. I can't say that. But just what I witnessed, I'm just like, that was surely different. But this whole movie is different. You just gotta kind of know the theme of what you're getting into. Which, like I said, when I saw the trailer, or like I saw like the TV spots, it more just seemed like, you know, young prospect trying to go into the pros. This is his idol. And then you have a lot of kind of Illuminati kind of stuff. You know, it's like, if you're going to enter this space and be successful, this is what you got to give up to get to this level. And it, you know, that's what you see. You see that play out in horrific levels. Basically what him is. And like I said, I thought it was good up until the end. You know, I still say it's good all around, but it's just hard to ignore what you saw the last 10 minutes. Like, you can't, that goes with the movie. That's how the movie ended. So I'm like, I really wanted to like it all the way through, but I can't say that I did, because the ending just threw everything off. I'm just like, what was that? Honestly, what was that? I swear it was like a writer that they just brought in at the last minute, and he just put some goofy, silly, crazy stuff together, and they just toss it in there. That's how it feels. It feels so disjointed from what you see before. It's just like, how did we get here? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, if you have an appetite for something weird, or like if you want to see Marlon do his thing, Marlon did good. You know, actors did good for what they were provided to do. And some of them were just downright crazy and psychotic and just weird. And they got the job done because that's what the movie required. So it's like, you can't say it was bad in terms of that. But I just don't know that last 10 minutes. I just don't know what they were trying to accomplish with that. That was just, I mean, they made a weird movie, but they made it weird to the utmost degree, to the point where I'm just like, I get weird movies got to be weird, but they ain't got to be that weird to the point where you don't even know how to explain what you saw. I don't see a point in being that kind of weird, where it's like, they're not even gonna break this down. You can't even guess what we did here. It's like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see something be that weird, where I can't even tell you what they were trying to do. I don't even have an idea. It's just, I just saw it. and I ain't like it. I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird. But like I said, up until the last 10 minutes, I did like what I see. It was pretty good. It had real good themes to it. It had real good, morals. It is more on the demonic side, So if that doesn't, affect you too much, like, cause I can watch stuff like that, and be like, oh, okay, cause you kind of see things play out in your own way, like how you observe things. So it's kind of like, yeah, I see things moving like that in the real world. But they kind of like, it's horror, so you got to exaggerate it a little bit. You got to bring imagery to it. You got to bring scares to it. But I feel like what they did in the last 10 minutes was just a little unnecessary for the vibes that they provided beforehand. But overall, I thought it was okay. I saw it got 36% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, it's a weird movie, so I can understand, the negative discourse behind it. Like I said, I feel like it's a niche kind of cultish kind of thing. You either gonna be like, you either gonna like it because it's weird, or you're just gonna be like, especially if you like things that are like mainstream, kind of conventional. If you're fully conventional, I don't think you're gonna like it because it's just like, what I'm seeing here is too weird. It's just like, it has a basic premise to it, but it's just how they go about presenting it to you. That's what makes it different. That's what makes it kind of weird. The imagery they get into, the horrific stuff that they get into, the disturbing kind of things that they get into behind the scenes. Because it is, like I said, it's an interesting concoction of a movie. They throw a lot of things in there that you would not think go together, but it's like, oh, okay, I can kind of see that. It's just that last 10-minute part where it's just like, well, I don't know where the heck that came from, but other than that, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was okay. I can see it being not a lot of people's thing, especially because it's already horror too. I mean, like that, you either can get down with horror or you can't. Like for me, I'm not squeamish about a lot of things. I'm not a horror fanatic. You know what I mean? Like to some people who they just love horror movies. Like I can have my favorite franchises here or there, but it's not something I'm like utterly enthusiastic about. So for most things, I just kind of come into like, oh, well, that was cool, or like Scream, that was great. Or there's other things where it's just like, I look at a preview of something like Saw or something, I'll be like, ooh, nah, that's a little too extreme for me. I can't do that. Like some things are just like, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just the title. I don't even know what they're about. I've never seen them, but just the title of it, nah, I'm good on that. That seemed like something that's just way too extreme for my taste. I can't do it. This one, I feel like it's accessibly weird. Like it's weird, but it's accessible. Maybe that last 10 minutes, I can't speak on that part. Like I was disturbed, but it was more so just disjointed where it just didn't make sense. I just like more so the themes of what I saw. I like the performances from what I've seen with everyone, especially Marlon Wayans. Which in here, he's funny like he can be. He's not over the top, but he's weird and intense and violent, and then he gets a little dramatic. There's like some dramatic scenes in there too. It's kind of like, oh, okay, you get to make sense of them somewhat, but then he just goes back to just being crazy and wild, and it's just like, yeah, well, being in this space and being a goat, and just you got to have some type of weird mentality to sustain this, all this success for so long, and you're already in this world where you're just not human, pretty much. I don't mean in the supernatural sense, but I mean like more so from a morality standpoint, kind of like he just kind of lost his way. You don't really see a real human, you see a sick person. And so you kind of like seeing this sick person trying to groom this real person who's like innocent, who's still got his youth, but it's like, this is what it takes to get to this level. I bet you ain't know all that, but now you get to see it. This is what it's like. Do you have what it takes? And then he keeps trying to push himself. He's disturbed, but at the same time, he's pushing himself to be like, well, I mean, I guess this is what you got to do. This is what you got to adapt to. And you just see it kind of play out. So I feel like the movie, for the most part, made sense up until the end. And it's just like, I wasn't feeling that. And then we gonna roll credits too, I guess. But yeah, man, this your boy Super Mario 1990. Let me know if you have already seen it, or if you will see it, how you feel about it. Like I say, it's a weird movie. It's not for everybody, but I thought it was accessibly weird up until the last 10-15. I can't defend that portion of the movie. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what the heck happened. But other than that, I really was rocking with it up until then. But this was your boy on 1990. I'm out. Peace in.